Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar, Learner to Leader, Demystifying Professional Bodies. My name's Claire. I'm one of the event managers at CMI. I'll shortly be handing over to Joe Lavelle, our student engagement manager, to deliver the webinar. Just a reminder to submit any questions using the chat to the right of your screen. We'll try and answer as many questions as we can at the end of the webinar. So without further ado, I'll hand over to Joe.
Brilliant, thanks Claire. Hi everyone, thank you for joining. Welcome to the Nottingham office of CMI. My dishwasher's just finished, so that's what that beeping is, which hopefully shouldn't cause us any more problems throughout today's session. So we are going to talk about demystifying professional bodies and some of our resources that can help sort of explore really what professional bodies are. I feel like professional bodies are a term that is bandied around quite a lot, particularly if you are a learner on a course or perhaps an early sort of career employee trying to make your way in the workplace. And it might be something you've heard about but not necessarily know a lot about. So what this session is going to do is go through exactly what a professional body is, why they're really important and really relevant to today's careers, and a bit more about how that's in context through the work of CMI and what we do. Okay, cool. So the slide on the screen then that you can see is a poll, and if you have a browser up or you're on a phone, you've got another device maybe, if you could go to www.pollev.com /CMI events. I think the link should be on the screen. This will take you through to this question, and it's a great way for us to find out just a bit more around your knowledge of CMI and a bit of what we do. There it is on the bottom of the screen. Thanks, guys. So it's a really good, helpful way for us to sort of know a bit more about how much you know about CMI, how much you know about professional bodies, so it can really help us tailor this session. So if you're able to go to that pollev.com /CMI events and click on your answer. Perfect. So on a scale of 0 being nothing, 5 being expert, how would you rate your knowledge of CMI and what we do? So far it's a 4, which is very strong, which is good. So a bit more context about me then. So my name's Joe, I'm Student Engagement Manager at CMI, and my role here is to support our learner communities to really make the most of their member benefits that they might be getting through various different channels. So it might be that they are on a dual accredited university course with us, they might be doing standalone qualification or maybe an apprenticeship. And it's really to make sure that our members really fully understand what CMI are and what we do and how we can work with them throughout their career. So brilliant. There's lots of answers now coming in. It seems like we've got quite a good awareness of CMI, which is a brilliant starting place. Hopefully this will expand a bit more on that and give you some more context really around the wider sort of professional body sector and how it works. Okay, so you might have heard of professional bodies and sort of what they do. And it might be a word that was sort of bandied around. So professional bodies, charter bodies, that sort of thing. But do you really know about them? So they are dedicated groups of people that are dedicated to promoting a career and benefiting those who do it. I need to get my words out today. There's over 80 in the UK that have got a royal charter, and this allows them to issue that charter status. So for example, we as the Chartered Management Institute can give that charter status of Chartered Manager. How this is awarded is defined by both the organisation themselves and the government, and it can't be changed without government permission. So it does have, it's really respected and is a really credible status as well. You have to work to maintain your status, ensuring that you're taking part in CPD, and whether that is through courses or events or any sort of online development, to really make sure that your status is relevant and really demonstrates that you are meeting those excellence and standards that they're required. Once you've got letters after your name, yes, as we said, you need to maintain those standards and develop them further. Comparing these, I guess, easily to something that's relevant to our learner community is comparing to students' unions. So in the way that a students' union sort of represents its members, it takes sort of note of the issues they're facing, represents them on a larger scale, and tries to develop them as people, but also develop their course as a student body. Professional bodies kind of do the same thing, but it's a professional base. It's thinking about the workplace and how you can become a better employee moving forward. You can see on the right-hand side that's a list of the 10 largest UK professional bodies. This was updated last year, it's nearly a year ago now, and CMI are now on there. CMI have got around 130,000 members worldwide, and would sit on this chart based on these numbers from last year. But there might be someone there that you're familiar with. So if you've looked at careers in things like accountancy, you've got ACCA are on there, ICAW, CIPD you might have heard of, who work with a lot of HR professionals, the Royal College of Nursing plus the British Medical Association, BMA, have been in the press a lot recently. And maybe if you've ever bought a house, RICS, the Chartered Surveyors, might be one that you've come across as well. So you might be already involved in a professional body, and particularly with CMI, there's three key ways that people might be involved with us if you're a learner. You might be on a dual accredited university course, and this is quite a common approach for professional bodies. And this is where we look at your university degree and we map it against our qualifications. So we look at the learning outcomes that you're getting on your degree course, and we look at the learning outcomes you need for some of our qualifications or training, and we map them together. So by completing one, you automatically get the other. You might be doing an apprenticeship. So CMI offer apprenticeships, or we might be doing your endpoint assessment. Or you might be doing a standalone qualification from a professional body like CMI alongside your career. Membership of CMI gives you access to all of our resources that can support you in the workplace. So we sort of touch on a bit of these later on. But you might be involved through having seen some of our resources on Management Direct or the Career Development Centre, or some of our online channels like these webinar series. And we can be partners with you throughout your whole career, not just during your qualification. We sort of would explore this a little bit later. So there's lots of pathways for you with professional body. It's not just something for starting out your career and thinking about making a name for yourself in the workplace. It can support you all the way through to sort of the top of organisations as well. So you might be asking why all this matters. Why are professional bodies a thing? Why do I need to be a part of it? Can't I just get all this support myself? And the answer is no. I think working with experts gives you that external credibility to your work. It gives you that justification that what you are doing is at a certain standard and meeting certain recognised excellences that can really develop your career and show to people exactly the standard you are working at. There's four key reasons I think there are to engage with a professional body and to be a member of an organisation. You've got a reputation and your personal brand, keeping you in the loop, building your professional community and putting your interests first. These four things we'll go throughout this session and sort of explore a bit more about why they're really important. But being that member of a professional body does help you stand out from the crowd and really does get you ready for the next step in your career. It is that evidence you're working towards a level or at a level that is seen as excellence in the field. And it's a great way to start demonstrating that you are ready to move up in your career and move along on your journeys. So reputation and personal brand. So it is a really competitive job market out there, even more so now considering everything that's going on in the world, and with graduate employment and employability sort of set to take a hit. You've got grad schemes who are either cancelling places or deferring places. So it's a lot of competition really trying to make your mark and stand out. Being a member of a professional body is a real boost to your own reputation and to your personal brand. It's a really great way for employers to see that you are taking that career development really seriously. Particularly the more involved you get with the association's activities, the more you can see that real relevance. Those letters after your name are a great indicator of the fact you're involved in a big organisation that is dedicated to CPD. So we talk about post-nominals, and post-nominals are those letters after your name that you get when you get a certain qualification. Now, if you have those on your LinkedIn profile or on your CV, to demonstrate that you are both a member of a professional body, or you might even be a chartered member of that professional body, it's a great way for me, if I'm looking to hire you, or for any other recruiters who might be looking to hire you, to see, okay, that's great. I know that they are meeting certain standards in these certain areas and activities and commitments to themselves. That means that they are hitting that excellence and they are ready to be someone who can make a real impact in this workplace because I know they're a member of that organisation. You've also got regional activity that can help. So we'll touch on this a little bit later, but you can really start to get yourself known in your area by engaging with professional bodies and really make a name for yourself both locally and nationally as well. CMI operates with a regional structure. We have regional hubs all across the UK that you can get involved with and really think about actually sort of making yourself known in your community of managers, so you can build those professional networks that you can then tap into for whether it's support and knowledge further on the line, but perhaps also for job opportunities moving forward as well. Keep you in the loop. Professional bodies also keep you up to date with the latest information that's really relevant to your sector. To make sure you're in the loop about what is going on and also aware of the latest trends. You might have online portals of resource to make sure you can get access to key sector knowledge that you need to be a success in your field. So CMI have Management Direct is a really good example of this, and the Career Development Centre as well. These are online hubs that you can go to and get that support in the workplace to really make you a better manager and to make sure that you're able to overcome any workplace obstacles or challenges that you might be facing. Quite often, there'll be newsletters that you can access to promote resources, and these will go straight into your inbox and give you that support that you need sort of when you need it the most. These might be tailored depending on either your membership grade or the experience you've got to ensure that it's really relevant to you and able to really deliver impact to you in the workplace. There's podcasts and YouTube as well. You'll get content that is on demand and really timely. So no matter where you are or how much time you've got, or maybe you're going between meetings and you're on your commute, you should be able to engage. Now, CMI offers podcasts available through various podcast providers like Apple or SoundCloud, as well as our YouTube channel, which is filled with webinars like this, all the ones that are listed on our events page as well. These are great ways for you to find out exactly what's going on across different organisations, but within that field of management, within that profession that is yours, and allows you to really think about developing your skills, find out more, and make more of an impact in the workplace. Building your community. So we spoke earlier around the regional hubs and personal brand and the way that you can get yourself known. You can do this with a professional body. Professional body is a great way for you to build your reputation and build your community of people around you who can give you support that you can tap into throughout your career. There might be special interest groups within a professional body, and these will allow you to meet and engage with people who are into sort of the same things that you are, sharing both your expertise and knowledge, and hopefully sort of raising your profile within that organisation. For example, CMI had our Future Leaders Festival, where we got loads of early year career professionals and graduates together to talk around the issues that they sort of care about and that matter to them around how you can develop in the workplace at an early stage. And similarly, our London and South East regional board and regional group put on peer networking events. So they get together around certain topics which they promote and really sort of use these to come together, get the people who are really passionate about these areas or really good experts to talk around the issues that they're facing and think around maybe how you can get hints and tips from other people who might have been there and done that first. We have events, as we said, taking place both across the UK. Obviously now these are moved onto a digital platform. These are ways for you to meet other managers and build links across organisations, building that network of knowledge and strength that you can tap into. And hopefully as well, you'll be able to access their expertise through our mentoring platform. So your professional body might have a formal channel that you can access and mentoring and support. CMI definitely does. It's a way that you can build relationships, particularly one-to-one relationships with people who might have been there, done that, and act as that critical friend and really give you that support that you need to overcome those professional challenges that you might be facing, whether that's related to specific tasks or about your own professional development. And finally, professional bodies put you first. I think one of the key things that a professional body does is it makes sure that your voice is heard at sort of the highest levels. They might be developing new guidance on how you can deal with certain situations in the workplace, or they might be lobbying government to make changes for you on your behalf on a wider policy scheme. But all in all, they are promoting best practice in your area, and they are developing your interest to make sure that you are heard and you're listened to, and that the world is changing for the best of your sector. Now, you can see on the screen, hopefully you can see these fairly clearly, and they might be a bit small, but twice recently, the CMI have been in the Times and sort of demonstrating a bit of this work that we're doing around making sure voices are heard. So the quote on the left is some recent work that we've done around surveying managers from devolved administrations, and talking about the impact that different opening rules and policies will have as people come out of quarantine and lockdown from coronavirus. And on the right as well, we have, it's from an interview with our Chief Executive, Anne Franca, talking around some of the key things that matter to CMI. So narrowing and eliminating gender pay gap and the promotion of women onto sort of senior levels of organisations. So we use our platform to put these interests first and to make sure that our voices are really clearly heard and try to bring wider societal change that is for the best of the organisation. It's about amplifying voices and telling stories that need to be told. So that's kind of the 4 reasons why I think professional bodies are really, really important. And I just kind of want to apply that a bit more and talk to you about CMI, really, about who we are, what we do. So you can hopefully see some of the 4 reasons that we spoke about why you should be involved with the professional body and see that in a bit of context. So CMI are the Chartered Management Institute. We've existed for over 60 years, with our aim is to eradicate the accidental manager. Now, the accidental manager is someone who's promoted to a role with management responsibility without the specific training you need to be an excellent manager. They might have been promoted because of length of service, or perhaps they've got special technical skills, but they haven't necessarily been given that management training that we know is really important to drive productivity and to make an impact. This isn't the fault of the employee, and it's really common. 4 out of 5 managers, according to CMI, might be accidental managers. So what do we do about this? We issue training, we issue qualifications, and we issue best practice, all aligned to our professional standards to ensure that managers have the skills that they really need to excel and to make a difference. The professional standards you can see on the right-hand side, they are 9 key areas that we align all of our activity against. And it's broken down into 3 main sections: organisational performance, personal effectiveness, and interpersonal excellence. We know this is what makes a manager a better manager. And we enable our members of the professional body to get the key skills in these areas, which they can then go on towards being a chartered manager, which is that chartered recognition of management skills. It's a reflective exercise, becoming a chartered manager, and it can demonstrate to your employer and to your colleagues that you are meeting those industry standards as a manager. So CMI, as that professional body, have these standards that we can demonstrate, or you can demonstrate to your employees and to your colleagues that you are meeting by being a member of CMI and being part of our organisation. Chartered managers boost business revenues by £62,000 a year, and there's a boost to the UK economy as well of over £22,000 from each chartered manager. So it's something that really does demonstrably have an impact on the wider community and the situations you find yourself in. So it's a really valuable way for you to think about those skills and the impact you've had and how to apply them even further. What you can see now on screen is what we call our sort of membership snake. And this demonstrates the career journey that you might undertake with CMI. And what I want to demonstrate here is that professional bodies, as we said at the start, aren't just for people who are either at the start of their career, they aren't just for people who are already established in their career and are trying to go further. They're for you for that whole journey. We want to work with you from being an aspiring high flyer, someone who wants to become sort of a great manager and is trying to develop their skills in that process, all the way to being a chief executive of an organisation who might be trying to either get qualification or skills or to give back to that membership community. Hopefully, if you have a look at this, you might be able to identify sort of where you are on this journey, but whether it's CMI's resources, our online support, or that charter status that we've spoken about earlier, you can maximise your management potential and ensure you are delivering sort of a maximum impact in the workplace through our professional body, the Chartered Management Institute. We spoke about CMI and professional bodies sort of having your back, and I wanted to explore some of this a bit more. CMI is there when you need us, and we respond to global events to really help you navigate the challenges that you might face as a manager. And this is the key thing for professional bodies, that we are there to get you through those stormy waters and in a way that is impactful and beneficial to you and to organisations. So what you can see on screen at the moment, you've got our Better Managers Manual. This is something we've published in the light of recent coronavirus crises to really help you navigate your way to what is going to be the new normal as we sort of come out of this pandemic. Similarly, we've got a Brexit Hub as well, where we pull together resources around Brexit to really sort of help people understand the issues that they might face as a manager and hopefully to get through those. We touched upon podcasts earlier. They're available on various podcast platforms, so just search for CMI Podcast. We have our Better Managers newsletter that is delivered to your inbox every month with targeted and tailored CPD that you can hopefully use to develop your skills in a way that is really relevant to you. We have our YouTube on-demand content. The screen grab there is from our Better Managers briefings, which take place every Friday at 1:15. Our chief executive meets with another high-profile business leader to really talk around some of the issues they're facing, particularly at the moment with the coronavirus pandemic, but also thinking wider around the ways that you can make sort of impact in the workplace. So I really recommend those, and they are available on demand on YouTube, but they're also streamed across LinkedIn and Facebook as well. So no matter sort of what challenge you might be facing and what obstacle you're coming over, professional bodies are there to really give you that support, and hopefully you can see all the different ways that CMI does that. If you're doing a qualification with us and you are on that road to becoming chartered, I just wanted to touch upon that pathway and really what that looks like. So if you have completed a program or EPA with us, you might be eligible for charter manager status, or you might be eligible to be a foundation charter manager. This might be something you've heard recently. And what foundation charter manager is a pathway for you to gain that experience and knowledge as you make your mark in the workplace through a tailored CPD journey that gets you through to that charter manager assessment. So using our resources and using our support, we will give you the help you need to steer you on that journey to get the knowledge and information you need to become a chartered manager. You need 3 years management experience if you've done a level 5 or above qualification. Otherwise, you need a minimum of 5 years management experience to get that charter status. But it's something I really would recommend people to do, partly because it does demonstrate that you're hitting the excellent standards that are identified in the charter, but also it does have an impact on the businesses and economies, as we spoke about. There's that £62,000 impact on the business you'll be working in, plus the £22,000 on the economy. But the average pay rise of a manager as a result of getting that charter status is £13,000. So it really does have a personal benefit for you as well. So if you're eligible, I really would advise you to look at becoming chartered. But if you're only eligible for that foundation charter status at the moment, that's great. It's a really good way to get on board and really embed yourself within our professional body and our organisation. Some of you might want to access some of the support that you've got available to you if you're already a CMI member. To get to our resources, Management Direct, you can log in several ways. One is through managers.org.uk through our homepage. In the top right-hand corner, there is a login button, and that might be a way for you to access Management Direct. Or you might have access directly through your learning provider. So I would recommend you look there. If you want to access the Career Development Centre directly, you can do that through Management Direct, or if you go to cmi.careercentre.me, that's the direct link. So it'll take you straight to the login screen, and you'll be able to access that further. Excellent. So that is it from me. Hopefully that's a really good overview of what professional body is. Like I said, they're really great ways for you to get those 4 key skills, to think around how you're developing yourself, building that reputation, building your personal brand, thinking about your networks and how you can stay in the loop more with the sort of really relevant information. And hopefully I've explained really how CMI can apply that, and you can utilize that information in the workplace and in a way that's really relevant to you. On screen, you can see our social media links. Please have a look at these if any of the channels you're on and you want to find out more about CMI, or go to our homepage, which is managers.org.uk. And that is my final slide. So I think we're now for Q&As with the events team.
Brilliant. Thanks, Joe. That's great. Yeah, we've had a couple of questions pre-submitted, and then we've had a couple of questions coming through on the live chat. So if we just do the pre-submitted ones first, do employers really take notice of post-nominals, as you mentioned earlier in the webinar?
Yeah, I think so. So I think the question with post-nominals is a really interesting one. I think what they do, if nothing else, is that they signpost that association. So with CMI, you might have certain post-nominals from that. And that's a really quick way for me to see that you are involved in that organization, but also working towards those standards that they identify as excellence in that field. So I think there's a real place for post-nominals, and it's a really great way for people to, in an instant, know exactly what you are and what you stand for. So yes, I think they do.
Thank you. That's great. And what if there isn't a professional body specific for my sector? Who should I join?
Okay, so I think that's a really interesting one as well. So if I can go back to my first slide, or one of my first slides, that one. So we've got on the right side those sort of largest professional bodies, and there might be something that isn't specifically there for you, and you might not see. But think wider than that. So for CMI, you can be a manager in any sort of sector or field. It's around the skills that make a good manager. So you might be managing resources, you might be managing people, you might be managing projects. It's around those skills. So it's not necessarily tailored to one like niche sector. So have a look. There will be their support for you. Particularly come and have a look at CMI and think around how you can apply your skills to our sort of membership platforms, because we are the home for managers no matter what sector you are in.
Thank you. That's great. We've had a couple of questions come through on the live chat. Pat is asking, do we accept credit transfers from a completely different degree, i.e. not a management degree?
So that if you're looking to get onto a CMI course, that would be something that you would have to talk to the learning provider about. So that would be something to ask their admissions teams around recognising prior learning.
Thank you. And another question from Gwen. She's asking, do CMI have a mobile app as she commutes? So I don't know if you can elaborate on that.
Yeah, sure. So at the moment, we're currently looking into sort of developing more of our digital offer around app-based, but all of our resources are mobile optimized. So both Management Direct and the Career Development Centre are mobile optimized, so they'll be really good for you on your commute. But similarly, things like our YouTube channel and our podcast are there to be that on-demand offer for you in this situation. So have a look on there, and hopefully there should be things that are really suitable for you while you're commuting to get that sort of bite-sized learning you might be looking for to pass the time until you get to the workplace.
Thank you. And I think we've got time for just one more question that's just come through. What are the requirements you need to obtain a certificate for level 8? So
you will need to look at the provider of that course to work out if there might be sort of entry requirements for you before you get onto a certain qualification. So if you have found the course you're interested in, go onto the learning provider, because they should be able to provide you with that more information.
Brilliant. That's great. Well, thank you, Joe, for all that very interesting and useful information. Thank you all for joining today. Don't forget to check out all of the resources available in Management Direct and also on the Career Development Centre that Joe has previously mentioned. And yes, thank you all for your interaction throughout the webinar, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Cool. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.